you understand that you yourself understand that topic better.
Yeah, and I think even like I realize this even in primary school, you know, like when the teacher teaches you something and then you teach your classmate that, you know, because before you can teach, you need to know a little bit more than the person.
Right.
So again, in that practice and all that, and then that person will ask you questions like, "Are you sure it's like this?" And then you'll be like, "Of course." And then you show them the formula, and they're like, "Oh, that makes sense." You know, the aha moment, the eureka comes in, and then both sides benefit. And I think that's the brilliant part about you know, lifelong learning and also andragogy. You know, when again it's adult learning and all of that as well. Yeah.
When I teach, I never teach beyond 40% of what I know.
Yeah.
Frankly speaking. That would be the maximum. I'll start with about 20%, 30, 40, and I may share a bit more or 100% only when I'm asked. Yeah, so when the Q&A comes, when I see that somebody has already received that information, digested it, it has settled in a person, and then it evokes further thoughts, further contemplation, doubts perhaps, or just somebody has their own ideas of application. Well, I love it, I welcome it always, you know. In that case, when the Q&A starts, yeah, then I'll go 100%, but otherwise just keep it to 40%, you know, so easier for people to learn also.
Correct, because again, there's a saturation point, you know, when you're bombarded with too much information, you go like, well, hold on, you know, let me chew on this, you know, let me digest it, and then when like you said, the Q&A, when I have questions, I'll come back the next session, I'll be like, hey, you know, hey doc, I heard you speak in this, you know, like one of these sessions, right, in this informal chats, and then this really sparked something in me, and I did some reading, you know, and I really, you know, it opened up my eyes, and I want to ask a follow-up question on that, you know, and that's why these sessions are, you know, to facilitate that, you know, it's for the viewers to, again, do their due diligence and ask questions.
But bear in mind, there are almost always exceptions from the rule.
Yes.
Okay, there are special cases, the deviations, you know, and then the other options.
Yeah.
And there is an advanced level, you know, that's the master class.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the master class.
For that one.
Exactly, yeah. That's what we're doing in the European Wellness Academy as well.
Nice.
You know, we do the master class courses.
Yeah.
You know, for people who are already experts in that field.
And you just want to add on and add on.
Right. And you know, when I've created this platform quite some time ago, which is called the Global Biohack Alliance. Okay, and that platform is purely, it's absolutely 100% inclusive. It's open for everyone. It exists at this moment on the social media, you know, but generally it's the pool of data that sort of I've initiated that, you know, and whoever contributes to that is always welcome, and it is not only including the medical practitioners, anyone, as long as you're the enthusiast, as long as you love biohacking,
health, fitness, all of that.
Just biohacking itself.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Global Biohack Alliance. You know,
it's actually a very good name, because talking about biohacking, you know, some of my friends have started doing it, but it means very different things. Like when I speak to individual A, to them biohacking is intermittent fasting. I speak to person B, he's like, you know, I'm putting some foreign device into my body to enhance me. You know, I speak to person C, you know, it's about meal replacement. So everybody, you know, I'm getting different feedback when you talk about
It's
biohacking.
all of it. It's all of it. As long as you find a way to, first of all, a biohacker has to understand, has to see that chain reaction of biological processes that are ongoing, whichever they are, physiological or maybe pathological, okay? And then by applying a specific disruptor or a specific influence, which can be chemical, pharmaceutical, can be physical, right? It can be an addition of something, or can be a removal of something.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
It can be an application of the electromagnetic field, the high temperature or the low temperature, or a specific compound. That all is biohacking.
So it's very all-encompassing.
It's very, very inclusive. I don't even know whether it's industry, you know, it's... I don't even know how to...
movement. It's more like a movement, like a biological slash wellness slash fitness movement.
When it's coming to the people's activity, it's definitely a movement, but I until now I'm not really sure how to characterize that. What is it? It's definitely scientific.
Yeah.
It's definitely scientific, but it is very applicational. It's very experiential. Okay, and there's always a bit of a mysterious component in that. You know, that the feel of something that you're doing the experiment, you are trying something on yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I love it. You know, I fell in love with that since I was barely a teenager.
Yeah.
You know, and I
started early.
I started early. You know, when I look back at my life, you know, the things that I've done and the experimentations and all with my body, it's quite remarkable.
Okay.
It's quite remarkable.
Yeah, and now I think you're in your 40s already, and it looks remarkable.
I'm just getting started. I'm not gonna stop ever. You know, I have this usually 24-year plan, 25-year plan, like what I'm gonna do for the next 25 years, next 25 years, next 25 years. So and it's getting more and more challenging.
Yeah. Because the bar keeps going up, right? Like
absolutely.
You've done this and then okay.
Yes.
So let's say, for example, you were telling me something about your body fat, like it's gone down by a lot, yes?
Yeah, well, if you put that in kilograms, it's about like 40 kilograms perhaps.
40?
Yeah.
Over a span of?
Well, a few years.
Okay. But that's a lot of weight to lose.
There was a rapid, dramatic weight loss of the first 32 kilo.
32 kilos.
32 kilo. And then there was a more slow, steady, gradual fat loss with gain of muscle tissue. It's a bit shorter, but still it's counted by years.
Yeah. Just to put that in perspective, viewers, 32 kilos is half my weight. So he literally, half of me just disappeared in that weight loss exercise. So I am amazed how that happens. Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers also would be keen to know as well.
It's possible. If I've done that for myself, I can do that for anyone. I can do that for you. Well, you don't have that much of a fat, but still
you can
get rid. Just get rid of the tummy and. Always remember that it's not all the fat that you see, there's also a visceral fat.
It's hidden underneath.
You want to get rid of the visceral fat.
Yeah, and those are things the most difficult one to get rid of actually.
Well, arguably. You can debate on that.
Okay.
But you want to get rid of the fat, excessive fat in your liver as well.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't want the fat deposition in your heart muscle as well.
Oh no, not at all.
Okay, so, and you don't want the too much of a fat in your skeletal muscles, in your abdominal cavity, in the greater omentum, you know, there's so much, you know, the compartments inside abdominal cavity that have the ability to accumulate that fat. It's not, and guys, you gotta understand that it's not purely aesthetical how you look like. It's not about the weighing scales or I don't know, I'm lean, I have 6 packs or whatever packs, you know, the girl's gonna like me more, you know, something like that. No.
Actually, they do if you have 6 pack. You're more confident on the beach, right? Summer's coming, you want to look good when you're in your Speedos.
You have. Well, no, the main argument here, the major argument here is that you reduce your risks of cancer.
Of course.
That's number one. Reduction risk of cancer.
Yeah.
lifelong cancers,
or heart issues,
obesity, your visceral fat, and all. It's massive risk factor for cancer. Heart disease, ischemic heart disease, coronary death, and all.
Okay, so it's not just about being.
It's not only about that. No. Well, of course we want to look good as well, but when I feel great.
So that's
when I be functional.
So it's a 2-in-1, right? So you don't only look good, but you feel good because internally you're balanced. I think that would be the thing we're looking at.
Balance.
Yeah.
Balance.
Okay.
And once you're balanced, no harm to be enhanced.
No, then because once your balance is actually the beginning.
Right.
Yeah. Once that's like your foundation, and then after that is when you start to sculpt.
To be enhanced and sculpt yourself.
And
trust me, it's absolutely nothing wrong in it.
No.
It's absolutely nothing wrong in having your wildest dreams. There's absolutely nothing wrong in trying to pursue your wildest dreams, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone, including you, on a way for pursuing that, to get that. You know, so when I say wild dreams, you know, just don't get me wrong. I don't mean something like really some vices, something like that. No, but if you want to get, like, based on myself, when I was a kid, a teenager, I was looking at that Muscle and Fitness journal or all the posters in the gym, you know, the Mr. Olympia, whether it's Arnold, Dorian Yates, or Sean Ray, you know, the Lee Haney. You know, I mean that was my personal fascination, right? That was my personal fascination.
When will I look like that?
Yeah, I want to look like that, you know. Some people like rock, you know, the Dwayne Johnson, you know, some Jason Statham, you know, and then, those guys are in their age, you know, they're like 40s, you know, I don't know, 50s, rock, I guess 49.
And they look good.
And they look amazing.
Yeah.
They don't look good, they look great.
Yeah.
You know, they look great. And if you want to look like that, there's nothing wrong in that.
Yeah.
Okay? If you are going to try to look like that, there's nothing wrong in that as well.
Of course.
If you will eventually work on yourself and you're gonna look like them or even better, there's nothing wrong in that, absolutely. You know, if your wildest dream is that you wanna ride a bike and you wanna look great, gorgeous, just in the jeans or the Bermuda trunks, you know, in the age of 60 years old or 65, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And it's achievable. That's what I call wildest dreams, you know. If you want to climb the highest mountain, you know, if you want to walk the longest trail, if you want to go as deep in the woods, or if you want to ride the longest road,
or dive,
yeah, or jump, whatever, it's fine. Just go and do that.
Yeah, live your life to the fullest.
Live your life. If you need to be facilitated, if you need to be enhanced, to be able to develop a better ability, there's nothing wrong in it. I welcome it. I welcome such people. I two hands, you know, trying to help them, not with one hand, okay? Yeah. With two hands, gonna try to help those people to achieve their dreams, because it's absolutely fine. It's great, you know. If it's better, if you definitely better if you compare to you don't have those ambitions or those desires and all. It's totally fine to dream. It's totally fine to achieve something. Yeah. It's totally fine to feel great. It's totally fine to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Like somebody whom you really love and care. You know. You see, it's that idea, frankly speaking, it's been always in my mind.
Okay.
But almost through my entire life, whatever I lived so far, almost, yeah, for many years, I was a bit of ashamed of that. You know, I was just keeping that to myself. I never pronounced that, I never shared that to anyone because, you know, I was thinking that it might not be understood properly. You know, that the whole idea of that you have to love yourself, you have to really take care of yourself.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it's a universal thing. Everybody wants.
Well, I don't know. I was a little bit ashamed of that, you know, like the moral aspect, you know, until I heard that, and then I read that, you know, in a book, and I heard that from Jordan Peterson, you know, and he said just take care of yourself, love yourself as somebody whom you love most of all, and take care of yourself. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not the only one, right? Or things like that. Nothing to be ashamed. And then, you know, the acceptance of that has brought me a huge, tremendous relief, you know, so just don't be shy. Don't be shy being yourself. Most importantly, don't hesitate to become better.
Yeah. In fact, I think I was also reading somewhere where they said the best relationship you could ever have is one with yourself.
Right.
Because you see, in a relationship, you know, whether it's a romantic one or, you know, a platonic, whatever matter, you want to give the best to the other partner, right? You want to give them the world, you know, you want to give them the best house, the best car, the best jewelry, the best life experience, you know. But if you don't give it to yourself and then you don't love yourself, how is another person going to love you?
Exactly.
Right? And so, talking about that as well, I think, you know, it's about the whole mind-body connection, you know, it's about you're healthy up here, you're healthy down here, you have wealth.
Mind, body, and spirit.
And spirit.
And spirit, absolutely.
Yeah.
And when it's coming to the spirit component, you know, I always say the perfection is impossible. Yeah. And it's not only impossible, it is totally unnecessary.
Okay.
And because the actual reward and the whole point, the whole sense is in the process itself.
Yeah. It's the journey.
It's the journey which is the actual reward, but not the goal. You will never ever reach perfection because simply it does not exist.
There's always another level.
It's always another level. There's always somebody who's better than you.
Yeah.
Always will be or was, and it's fine.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. Embrace that. You know, but be on the right track. Once you step on that track, well, it doesn't mean that you can turn somewhere, but try to follow that track.